shadows creep. He dreamt of title once so deep.
All right, we're playing some Nanteleod's Legacy. For those that couldn't hear me for a while, we've been live for a while on Twitch. If you're watching this on YouTube, totally not any technical difficulties. This is the very beginning of the episode and you haven't missed anything. Yeah, real quick, the players are Yampa playing Sir Rune, Wergar playing Sir Gwyd, Drax playing Sir Rain, Bert playing Sir Maddock / Zombie Cormac, ? Trent playing Sir Gwydir, and Cyberbro playing Sir Lucius as our guest. He's back. So
that's me.
At the yeah, it's running now. I can see my mic bouncing around there. So if you're with us, welcome. We're back from last time. We're gonna follow Sir Gwydir and Sir Gwyd, who are returning with King Cadwy right now to Great Bridge to meet with King Nanteleod. What was just described in what you didn't see is that while they're traveling, King Cadwy, of course, has a nice big sumpter of a horse, like a pack horse that he's riding, and he has a retinue with him. The fog does not seem to be a problem on their journey back. You can see on the trails on the road and quite a distance around you, like 100 feet around you. With that, Gwydir and Gwyd, we will get an awareness test.
Nice.
Okay, awesome. Both of you at just the edge of the fog, both of you hear a little bit of whimpering.
I think Gwydir is just going to turn to Cadwy and raise an eyebrow.
Cadwy smiles.
Sir Gwyd is probably going to stand up in his stirrups and say, "Who goes there?"
You hear a voice clear up. I'm getting feedback, I think, from you, Bert. Who's there? Leave me. Leave us. Give me a recognize roll, guys. I guess you heard a voice.
I'm pretty good at these, so this should be easy. Oh, baby!
Nice.
Check.
Well done,
I'll
both
take
of
that
you.
for glory.
Indeed. You guys both know of a younger knight named Sir Lut, one of Nanteleod's men. The reason why you would know him is because he is in service to Nanteleod as a household knight of one of the vassal knights. Specifically, he belongs to House Timberlake.
Ooh.
As a household knight. And yeah, he is also exalted with a spear.
Good for him. Huh. Sir Lut? Sir Lut! He'll call out and I think Gwydir will draw his sword at this point. He's suspicious of this whole thing.
Yeah. And you have 10,000 glory?
Yeah, 11, I think.
Yeah, he's just
10,
like,
10.
Go away.
It's Sir Gwydir! Sir Lut! What's happened? Tell me, speak! I'm coming!
Are you heading over there?
Yeah, he'll look to Cadwy for confirmation of if this is a trick or not. Is this a trick, King Cadwy? Some deception of the forest?
There's always deceptions. Whether they come from the forest or not, that's unclear.
It hardly helps. Fine. Stay here. I'll be back.
Yeah, the like what you did observe from Cadwy is they did come to a stop when you started interacting, so that their whole retinue has come to a stop. And Gwyd, you are welcome to act as well. Just let me know what you're doing.
I think Gwyd would probably just pull out a sword. I don't think he knows who Sir Lot is, but I think he'll probably just let Sir Gwydir take the lead, since he probably has interacted with him more, and he'll just stay back and help with the entourage.
Okay. Okay.
He rides forward.
Okay. How would you recognize this? It's not really. It's a place. Let's do a folklore test. Okay.
Killing it.
Okay, so I'm gonna set the whole scene for you. So you see the walls of what you believe to be almost for certain is St. George.
Oh yeah, St. George.
Yeah.
We're not supposed to be there, are we?
Who's to say? You're looking for a swamp. But St. George is way up here.
Yeah.
That's not the jarring site. That's just I recognize this place. Now for the jarring site, you see about a dozen men on crosses, all crucified.
Is there a sanity roll that I can make?
Right? And because you critted recognize, I'll give this to you. You know that Lud had a younger brother, Ablak, and they were both household knights, kin of Justin. And he sits very clearly in melancholy at the foot of Ablak's cross.
Is Ablak dead?
Yeah. He's crucified. He's dead.
Yeah.
They all look dead. They all look like... It doesn't look good. It looks like they've been picked at, like, by crows. Like, it's probably been a while.
Yeah. I think Gwydir is... well, let me see... What's the priority? I think he's more worried about the strung up corpses than he is about the sad guy. I think he'll call back and be like, King Cadwy, I need help here. We have bodies. We must return them to their families. And he'll ride forward and start getting his squire to sort of, help him bring some of the corpses down off the crosses.
Okay, Gwyd, do you respond to Gwydir's request? Or are you gonna hang back?
Yes. Can he? I'm assuming he can't see through the fog, so he probably has to ride up closer.
Yeah, and as you get a little closer, you start to see the manor. Effectively, it's a fortified manor, and out front, it looks like they crucified a number of soldiers. Because you recognized that role earlier, you can only assume at least one of the men, if not multiple, are your, or maybe not your, because you're Gwyd, but Nanteleod's, loyal knights.
I think Sir Gwyd will probably make the sign of the cross and say Saint Mary and all the saints, and I guess he'll try and help Sir Gwydir with whoever he's trying to pull down first.
Okay.
The sign of the cross! Man, they're on crosses! What on earth is wrong with you?
I don't think Sir Gwyd would answer.
Yeah. All right. Just give me energetic tests. You're going to be spending like a while here if you're taking down more than one.
Gwydia's also going to ask who did this. Eventually, once he's sort of working and starting to get into a bit of a routine. Yeah. Who did this? What's going on here?
Lud points to, and you see a banner hung over St. George. It is the Roman banner, SPQR. It is modified slightly. It is, you have faced foes under this banner before, mercenaries. It is Siagrius, indeed. And Lud says, he left me alive to tell you all that he would finish the line of Uther.
I don't care one whit about the line of Uther. I care about these men. He'll finish nothing once I get my hands on him. How many men do we have? Cadwy!
Yes, some of Cadwy's men come to help. It still takes a while, with like a dozen or so crucifixion. So
he's wondering if they can take St. George with the 12 people that they have here.
Oh, what's wild is you can tell it's been abandoned.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
He just left the banners over it.
Mm-hmm. Doors are wide open. Gates wide open.
That's strange. I think Gwydia will have to go investigate. He's reckless.
Okay.
He'd be careful, cautious of an ambush, I think. I think he would suspect that this is a trap, knowing Siagrius. But I think he's going to go over anyway.
Yeah, you find a few corpses just left for dead on the inside. Servants. Looks like they didn't leave anyone or take anyone hostage, really. Otherwise, it looks like they looted anything they could take with them. Not quite bandits way, like nothing was destroyed, collapsed, nothing like that. It all seems to be very much like, is this thing gold? It's gone,
Professional sacking of the town.
Yeah, definitely more like what you would have read in, the way Romans might have sacked something versus barbarians, let's say. It seems more like an army sacking than a YOLO sacking. So,
okay. I think he'll ask one of Cadwy's men if they recognize any of these people, and otherwise just report to Cadwy that St. George is liberated.
Yeah, the property value has gone way down in St. George.
Yeah.
Indeed. Okay, we're gonna skip over to the other guys. We'll get back to you guys shortly. And Gwyd, if there's anything you want to do, we'll start with you first next time, just to make sure. We already got Collis playing a secondary night. I want to make sure he gets to have some fun here. Okay, let's jump over to Yampa Drax. Bert, you were there with Matic, right? Or no? Yep, Bert and Cyberbro. As you all come upon an undead. I don't know. Let's start with what you all want to do immediately. Maybe we'll do like not initiative, but we'll see what each of you do in an order. We'll start with Rune and Rain because they were kind of there first.
I think Rune, having his passion directed at Cormac, I think he's more shell-shocked, I guess. So he will have his sword in his hand, but he's kind of like frozen, I guess.
Okay.
Sir Rain would, excuse me, would have his sword actually drawn and readied as he waits to see if this is actually Cormac or some other trick again of this lovely, beautiful place that we're in.
Enchanting.
Yes, so enchanting.
One way to put it.
Yeah.
Okay. What about Lucius?
Swords out, and I'm directing Sir Minotos to get behind me. Yeah, Lucius would just have the sword out, ready to slay the undead Cormac, and then be sad about it later. But this is the mist, and I'm the mist.
And we do recognize this thing is undead.
I never said that.
Okay.
Bob said corpse. You said, do you see the corpse of Cormac?
That's fair. It was a corpse.
Like straight up.
Fair.
I said you see the. I said you see the body of Cormac.
Mm.
That's not corpse. Yeah, so technically, okay. So you could be just chilling.
It could be, I mean,
could
if
be
it's
Cormac.
not, yeah, if it's literally just Cormac that's standing there, he'll just ride up.
He's not standing.
He's not okay. Well, I'm just gonna ride up, like get off my horse, and like start maybe like patting him in the face or something, like Cormac, wake up.
First aid for anyone that's right around at that point that wants to. And since
I would have
knights don't
followed
have,
him out.
yeah, since knights don't have great first aid, go ahead and just all of you can roll if you want that are there. If you're concerned for Cormac and you're looking him over.
I'm doing great.
I passed.
Critical.
Just with the save, he crit.
I'm gonna check that.
I knew I raised you well.
Rune is so bad at this that he accidentally kills Cormac.
I just slowly do it like I did with the one breaking knock kid.
Yeah, and blames it on the mist.
Runa's just like, kill it slow.
Okay. The crit's gonna help a lot. Successes. Matic and Rain, you can tell that something's wrong with him. He looks a bit pale, and he's kind of unresponsive. Lucius, you can tell he's not breathing, but you can hear just the slightest bit of air. Like I'm assuming you're like getting closer to do this, because otherwise you wouldn't.
Yeah.
So like you're like
getting closer to do it. Sorry,
you can hear like a faint bit of air, and you realize with the crit, you realize his airway's obstructed. He will die if there's an attempt to breathe. Nothing's really getting through.
Okay. This I have a dagger, and I pull up my dagger, and I look to everyone and say, "Trust me."
That's not how you do that.
I saw anaconda. All right? I saw anaconda, and what they did in anaconda. I'm gonna check his mouth before I reenact the scene from a beloved '90s movie. I'm going to check his mouth to make sure there's nothing in there.
Smart.
Rain just kind of looks over at Sir Rune because he knows how Rune is with Cormac here. So.
I don't know how Rune will react. I mean, these are all swords of Nanteleod.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's literally why Rain's
that is
looking over
Cormac.
at Rune because he's like, "Oh man."
I think Rune's pacing just like 5 feet away from Cormac, just like pacing up and down and like looking at every single thing that's happening. And when he pulls out his knife, he just full stops and stares at Lucius.
As you get closer, Lucius, you can almost hear this like croaking sound. It almost sounds like he's making this strange, almost like burping noise. And it might be because of the air being obstructed. As you open up his mouth, though, you feel like you reach in and there's like a sliminess in there, and then all of a sudden something jumps at you. What is your immediate reaction? Like something comes out of his mouth.
Okay, I've got one hand in his mouth, one hand on the dagger. Right?
Yeah.
That was a crazy sentence to have said. The thing that jumps at me gets the dagger. Like dagger for the thing that jumps at me.
Okay. Dagger roll. Do not fumble this, sir.
Yeah,
I get one reroll a year. Oh my god, I only have a 6 in dagger. Let's go. Yes! Oh, yo! Let's go! Witness me!
Well played. Well played.
You see a toad leap out, and you realize after you catch it, like basically impale it with your blade, you see the toad like twitch on your blade, and then it stops.
Yep. I'm gonna throw the toad off my blade and start stomping it because it could be magical because we're in the mist.
Maddox's gonna slide in and
Tick dagger.
that toad jumped out of Cormac's mouth. Is Cormac breathing?
Yeah, all of a sudden it's like he's taking in air that's been absent in a way that tells you he's desperate. Maddox, or not Maddox, Cormac, give me a con roll -10.
Ooh, okay. Uno momento. -10, huh? Alright.
That's right.
Nice.
You sit up straight like the Undertaker all of a sudden. And this probably sets you all back, like as all of a sudden he reacts that way. Like he's just been jarred with adrenaline.
Yeah, Rain was watching Lucius with complete confusion as he's stomping on this toad that's already been impaled on a dagger, and then when Cormac starts awake like that, sits up, yeah, he actually takes a couple steps back, sword pointed at him just to be sure.
All right. So Bert, you're gonna take over the rest of the scene as Cormac, and I will take back Maddox as an NPC.
Okay.
What you remember everything that happened. It's a little fuzzy, but you remember everything that happened that you saw with your scenes with Prince Mark. By the way, that the worst you got was backhanded. You weren't waterboarded or,
no real torture.
Yeah. Nope.
But
not unless you asked for it.
I mean,
yeah.
Cormac would have been the one to ask for it when he goes, "Your hospitality really is something to be worked on."
That's not too bad though.
Honor.
Yeah. If you start insulting his honor or something, you might have a black eye maybe, but that would be about the worst of it. You remember?
He's got a couple of black eyes and bruises.
You remember walking through a place, it felt dark and gray, and for a minute, just before you got here, you saw your brother.
Which one?
The one who you killed. He was still the same age. And I need you to test either forgiving. Actually, hold on. Never mind. Because this is yourself. So I need you to do vengeful, but with the hate self modifier. What is hate self? You got it's a passion we gave you, right?
Self is currently at a 14.
Yeah. Test that first.
All right. Failure.
Might be one of the few times your failure rolls supported you well. All right, so we're gonna get you to make either a forgiving or a vengeful roll. And if you fail that one, then you roll the other one.
All right. I'm gonna start with vengeful then. And I passed.
Of course you did. Okay, and then we'll give you because it's vengeful, right? So tick that. And then we'll give you a spiritual roll.
Okay.
There it is.
You know what? F it. Can I use my once a year reroll? Or not reroll, but downgrade?
That will only turn it to a failure.
I'd rather fail on spiritual than fumble.
Oh, actually,
Again.
yeah, it's a point. We
It's always a fumble.
we replaced the once a year like change to a push mechanic, so you can choose to push that if you want. Technically you can't push fumbles, but in this case I'm just gonna say yes. Yes, you can. So you do have to re-roll, but you can push it. Odds are you won't roll 2 20s in a row. I hate myself for even saying that out loud, but
What? Dude, you just hurt him.
Just so bad.
What? Why would you do that?
listen, there is some advantage. It's like Babe Ruth at that point, just pointing to left field. Like,
Okay.
Okay. Well,
worked out to be the same as what you were after. You failed rather than fumbled.
Yeah.
Okay.
God really does hate Cormac.
yes. Yes, he does.
Test worldly. We might see a worldly Cormac soon.
Mhm.
This is
You
how
know.
he tests all his.
Yep. There you go.
Oh wow.
Tick worldly.
Oh my goodness. I might get one or the other,
The winter comes around.
basically.
Become a pagan, Cormac.
In the scene with your brother, you ask for his forgiveness and he denies you. And then you wake up. And there's a part of you, strangely, with the worldly success, strangely, you're suppressing it. Like, you're not handling that emotion right now. You're just moving on. But you wake up to see all your allies. Your swords.
There's a sword pointing at him.
He has risen.
They really am.
It's him.
Why wouldn't I be?
Because we're in this clearly enchanted area, and we've seen strange things.
You had a frog in your throat, Sir Cormac. Does anyone have a torch so I can burn the corpse of this frog?
It
I'll
seems a
take
little
it.
excessive.
Don't
I don't know about frog or an enchanted mist or whatever.
Oh,
But I
you
know I
will.
was captured by King Mark.
Oh,
Lucius gets serious.
Why did he let you go? How did
I
you
don't
escape?
think he
how
did.
did you get here?
I'm gonna offer him a hand so the man can stand up, obviously.
Intrigue rolls.
For me, that's going to be law.
That says Matic, but it should be Cormac.
Got it.
It's been me all along.
Rips off mask. And I would have got away with it too if it
Sting!
wasn't for meddling kids and your dog.
It's just Sting. It's just Sting under the mask.
Yeah.
I think is.
Suplex.
Have you ever seen the Key and Peele skit with the names like Balake and all that?
Yes.
Yes.
Do you remember when he says one of the names and one of the kids is like, and it's like, and then he raises his hand when he does that. Like, there. So all of a sudden, when everyone's like, you know, when he mentions, how did you get free? He says, I didn't. Maddox's like, yeah. And like for Rune, it doesn't register as too weird. But for Lucius and Cormac and Rain, you all just look over at Maddox and you see this look of like,
And Rain just kind of just fixes his gaze on him and sees if the kid, well, the younger knight, comes clean.
Lucius gets deathly serious. What did you do?
What do you mean? What did I do?
No, not you, Sir Cormac. Maddox, what did you do? Why are you acting like this? What is happening?
Oh, yes, Matic. Please. Educate.
I did not. I did nothing. Well, there was an old man on the road, and he said that he could set you free, that you were a captive, and all he needed was a favor in return. It seemed like, well, if it was true, then great. And look, here you are. So it must have been true, right? Or it's just a coincidence.
A favor.
I mean, he was an old man.
Were you in the forest in the mist when this happened?
Yes.
Favors, things in the mist are different. It could have been anything. You could have seen an old man, but it could have been some type of creature or something. I'm not well versed in things here from a scholarly perspective, but you be careful. We should all be careful while we're here. I've seen things. Also, I need to burn this frog.
Do we have any pagans in the group?
What are you talking about? I'm more concerned that he's giving his promise to just random strangers.
I don't think we
You're
have
a
any.
bloody royal knight of Nanteleod. What if this favor is to turn a blind eye while an assassin creeps up on the king?
Don't do it.
Bob, can I roll fairy lore?
You know what? Everyone around can. Based on who you are and what your experiences are, you might get slightly different answers to this.
I crit.
Like Rain. Rain's
Guy
gonna
that's never
have a very
encountered
different answer to
anything
this.
magical.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah, I'll tell you what your answer is. You can tick that from
No way!
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Rune's got his own answer, and this makes a lot of sense too.
Yeah.
I know nothing of old people in the forest.
Cormac, are you gonna test as well?
I know a little bit.
But not this day. So for Rain, this reminds you of making a deal with the devil. Right?
Yeah.
A promise that you're now bound to keep. And that's how you interpret it. For you, being the knight you are, there is no such thing as fairies, only demons and devils.
Yeah, you could probably see it on Rain as soon as he realizes there's a fire there in his look at Matic. I mean, he looks completely just infuriated at this kid.
For Rune, you're going through something slightly different back home. And you've been seeking answers anywhere you can get them. I think for you, you've heard tale that sometimes the folk over there, as they're called back in Brecken, the folk over there sometimes make deals called, I don't know if it's pronounced Gisa or Gish,
Yes.
almost word bound. Gaius, is that what it is? See, I've heard lots of different pronunciations where I need to go look it up at some point.
Yeah, I thought it was
Either in
Gaius.
Welsh or Irish. Is it Gaius?
That's how I've always
Isn't it called-
heard it.
That's the way I heard it.
Oh, that's how I've always heard it, but I'm just looking up it now, and apparently
Yeah.
it's pronounced Gesh because it's
Gish.
Gaelic.
Yep.
Yeah.
I thought
Yeah,
someone
yeah.
corrected me on that years ago. Yeah.
I think you're right. Yeah.
So Rune, for you heard that sometimes these folk from over there make promises, and when you promise, you are now word bound.
Well, I believe
I'm
that
more
you have
concerned about assassins.
assassins. With the things that we've been seeing in this forest, I think an assassin is the least of our problems, and our king isn't here.
He's made a deal with the devil. You can hear it in his tone. He is completely agitated at this point. He is done with this mist and everything that's here already.
Matic, that wasn't wise.
That's
I
another
mean,
statement. Just,
look, it's probably just some old man, and if it wasn't, Cormac's back with us, right?
You just saw a frog crawl out of his throat. It's never just an old man.
Matic. I get it. I truly do. But my life is nothing compared to that of King Nanteleod's. And if King Mark is looking for this Winter Prince, let him run his wheels all he wants. Whoever this Winter Prince is an ally, or a fairy tale made up by the folk around here to scare the Cornish. But you have put yourself in an untenable situation. And now, Matic, for the time being, I will appropriately handle what is about to happen. But until that time, you're going to stay with me. Your duties as a knight of Nanteleod are going to change a little slightly.
Did Sir Rune say anything in this moment?
I think he's thinking. He's thinking a lot. Maybe about the powers of this possible old man and how tempting it is now to go seeking for him for answers. But for the time being, he just helps Cormac up as he once helped up, and he'll mount, and he'll say, "Oh, dealings with devils or not, we have Cormac back, and we have to head back and find the rest of the army. Hell, we need to find Wadir."
On the
Is
ride,
Wadir all right?
Lucius would ask, we don't know. We've been separated. It's good to see you, Sir Cormac. It's been a while. You mentioned King Mark. Prince Mark is a king now, you say?
No, I'm tired. Prince Mark, obviously a man who needs more education upon honor and hospitality, might I add, kept going on
Yes.
and on about this Winter Prince.
Where is he now? Prince Mark, where were you?
I didn't know how I got here. One thing, Prince Mark is asking about the Winter Prince and his big behemoth of a man who I will have words with later is going and beating me every time I give an answer that Mark did not like.
Make an intrigue roll. We'll see how much you paid
What?
attention as Cormac too on something that is slightly off screen. But this is a matter of because you made a recognize roll.
I failed the recognize roll.
Oh, you failed the right. Yeah, make an intrigue roll now because you were there for
Alright.
more than a day. Okay. You learn that that man, that giant of a man, was one of the three Cadlu's sons.
I think I've seen him before. When we were up in the Cadlus, he reminded me of someone that we fought against. But I can't quite put my finger on it. I think he was like a son or a nephew or something. But after a while, it all gets blurry from the hits to the head.
Do you know how you happened to get captured by Prince Mark? Or if you don't, I understand you've had a harrowing journey. This would help me with one of my oaths.
I believe that while I was off acting as though I myself were Sir Gwydir, assaulting an enemy on my own, eventually that the overwhelming numbers ended up taking me.
I see.
Did we take Bristol and Great Bridge?
Yes.
And Gwydir is out here
Alive.
somewhere?
Yep. Alive last
You're
time I see.
testifying.
Good.
Let us mount up and go find Sir Gwydir. Once you're all together, I'll have to separate from you. See where we go from there. My presence here is odd too.
Where did you come from?
This is going to sound strange, but I woke up in the mist.
We found him on the pathways. We were searching in the mist.
So Lucius,
Yes.
I have a question. You were the last one I know who saw Finnegan. Is he safe?
Yes. I can speak no more of the matter.
Like, there is a small tear that runs down Cormac's face. As long as he is well.
All right. I think with that, we'll okay. Is there anything else, Lucius, you want to say in a parting shot there before we jump to the next scene?
No.
Okay. Noted. Wergar, roll me a d10 there.
D10. 1.
And 2 d100s, please.
9 and 25.
Okay, 9 and 25. Give me a sec here. All right. Quickly look at your sheet here. Oh, wrong sheet. Okay. We're going to go back to Collis, who we haven't seen in some time, nursing himself up in Great Bridge, or rather being nursed back to health. Indeed. Okay. The servant, or you learn quickly that it's actually a maiden from these lands named Hulwyn, who nurses you back to health, is one of the most beautiful ladies you've ever seen. Her app is 22.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
You do have an amour, yes? For
Yes, I do.
what's but you're now married.
I am.
So that is now a love. So that the amour should now change to love.
Alright,
Lady
change
Helly.
that.
You are about to make a chaste or lustful test, and you can choose which one to roll first unless you're famous in either. You can impassion with your love for Helly if you wish.
Where's my... Okay, there it is. I'll just do lustful first.
Oh.
Oh no.
Yeah. So I need you to make 2d6 plus 10.
Plus 10. 13.
Well, that's really good. Like, that could have been so much worse. You have an amour for Lady Hulwyn.
Alright.
So, story-wise, won't talk about age. She's of age. She's of age for the era. And we don't talk about that in Pendragon, but it isn't as bad as it sounds. And a little past it, actually. Which eventually they become known as, I think, spinsters or something. I can't. If they go unwed for too long. She is from Summerland. And given the current state of the wars, there has been no wedding for her. And this has resulted in a scenario where I think the both of you fell for each other. So this is now it's wild that you got that low, but it's not a famous love, but it is consummated. So it is a love, not an amour on your sheet, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And she is now your mistress.
Huh.
It's worked out extremely well.
All in a day's work.
Right?
I can't believe that we're out in the forest and this motherfucker's getting laid.
Right. He's a pagan. We've established that.
Pagan, and it works to be wounded every now and again.
That's right. Sometimes you gotta have a little cheeky little nap.
Wounded. He almost fucking died.
Yeah, okay, good point. So me not trying to draw attention to it makes the age thing sound way worse. The age in Pendragon is 16 for ladies to get married. It might be 18 in 6th edition, we'll find out. But because it's a stream, we try not to emphasize that. But then me trying to overemphasize it the other way. Anyways. We're just going by the book, man. Leave me alone. So on this note, we're at the point where you now what is your love for Helly?
I don't think it's very much more than that. My love, Lady Helly, is also a 13.
No.
So okay. Yeah, so you're at a real, like, one is like, for all your ambitions, one is everything. And yet there's this, maybe that's why you're not offering this Hulwyn any more of your heart, because any more would mean that you're for sure gonna fuck up your situation with your Duchess of a wife. So
Yes.
but it doesn't stop you from consummating because of the critical specifically. That's like that had to have happened. And if you're curious what you rolled with those 2D100, the 9 and 25 worked out to be defeat, love. So, yeah. Which you did not, by the way. So that was the challenge before you, and you didn't. Is there anything on your road to recovery? Obviously, we're going to be bringing a scene back to Great Bridge here pretty quick. But is there anything you wanted to focus on? You can't do much while you're resting and healing, but is there anything else aside from that you want to zero in on?
I think Sir Collis would probably be trying to gather information on just why is he trying to find Finnegan, and then what exactly is the game plan that the king is trying to bring together in the end goal of how can I help or what can I do, even though he's kind of bedridden.
Okay. And how are you going about trying to discover this information?
Probably good old intrigue. And now that he has an in with the Lady Hilwyn, he can probably try and use the servants, since they hear a lot of things, trying to use them as a network almost.
Okay, give me an intrigue roll.
All right. Can I attempt to actually impassion with that Lady Hilwyn?
Yes. Yep.
Nope.
That's probably a good thing. I was gonna make you take it if you didn't. But
No.
Okay. I don't think that. Well, I'll give you this. Just like I offered Bert, we are nearing the end, like towards the end of the year. Like it's only summer, but we're not going to do. I'll get to that. But you can opt to push. It would be your roll for the year. That would be a reroll. When you do push, though, if you fumble or if you fail, you fumble. So if you roll high again, it's like a fumble.
Now I'll just keep what I have.
Okay. There keeps being this reference to Winter Prince and Finnegan, like they're synonymous. You are a student of battle. Why don't you give me a battle test? Okay, and then give me a folklore test +5.
Folklore test. Yep.
Good enough. Spending time, as you can't do anything else for this while. It's like the Ned Stark scene when he's in King's Landing, where he's doing his research. You uncover a bit of a past that, because you guys are mostly over in Wales, you weren't part of Uther's realm, and Uther never got High King, right? But his brother did before him, and his father did before Vortigern. So there was a history of High Kings. King Vortigern kind of is seen as someone who usurped the High Kingship from Constantine's line. Constantine was the name of Uther's father. Uther and Aurelius's father. He's kind of seen as usurping it. And in the process of being the High King, he found his seat over Wales, the Ordovisi, I believe they were. For his sons, he offered them land in Wales. But so the land was for Vortimer, it was Nanteleod's realm. Right? That's why Nanteleod can trace his line back to his grandfather Vortimer or his great-grandfather Vortigern. And then for his son Cadogan, it was Pallas. And that's King Cadell is a descendant of Cadogan. When Vortigern ran into trouble with kind of not being able to manage the realm himself, he decided to deal with the threats of the Picts and the Irish and the Kimri who didn't like him by inviting more Saxons in to take over more parts of Britain. And they weren't so happy about that, right? Why this all ultimately links together is that Vortimer's last actions were as a rebellious king against his own father. And he was named King of Logres by the rebels. And he fought for Logres against his own father and against the Saxons, and died in the process of trying to do so. That King of Logres line then fell next to the reclaimant Aurelius Ambrosius, is Aurelius's march. That was that big roll you guys did at the beginning of the game. Aurelius came back to the island for the first time since he and his younger brother Uther were boys, and they claimed the island quite successfully. The rebellion was rather successful. After the rebellion, Aurelius remained king for about half a decade before he died after the Battle of Silchester, or Battle of Salisbury. Sorry. Which left with him without an heir, left Uther as the king of Logris. Now Uther had claim to high kingship with Vortigern's line effectively neutered. Uther, as a very competent warlord, had the next claim to the high kingship. The only problem was he wasn't a very popular king. Most saw him as someone who would force his way into leadership, and that's exactly what he did. So when people didn't bow to him as high king, he started to conquer lands like Bedegrain and take them by force, bit by bit, which was not seen as a popular move. All that is to say that you find this Winter Prince is potentially the son of Uther Pendragon. There was a son taken, claimed apparently by Merlin in the year 492. And with all that knowledge, you might draw a conclusion that perhaps Finnegan is this stolen son of Uther Pendragon. Or so people seem to think. Foes and allies alike. Sorry for the long-winded knowledge there. I hope you were able to get a better sense of things. More importantly, you know that in character now. So, all right. With all that aside, we're gonna jump back real briefly to Gwydir. Roll me a d10.
7.
Okay. Yeah, so you search St. George, and there's not a lot to be found outside of what I explained to you. It does look like it was well stored, well kept. You do recognize a couple of the soldiers were where the not the ones crucified, but the ones that were slain inside the walls. They have heraldry tests, actually, for you, Gwydir.
Finally, a chance to show off my heraldry score. Fail.
There's some pretty pictures on there.
Yeah. Yep. I'll take the examples of the heraldry back to Cadwy and the other knights and stuff.
They do recognize it. It is. They were men of the mercenary unit of Sir Brastius. Sir Brastius's knights, they're called.
That makes sense. It's a shame. I did not see, however, Brastius himself, and so, well, perhaps a fighting withdrawal of sorts, or maybe just a garrison. Cadwy, these being your lands, perhaps with some of your men you might garrison St. George, or as you like, one supposes. But we ought not stay longer than we already have. I think we should get these men back to their homes, and you to thy king.
He nods. To Great Bridge we go.
It's a great bridge.
All right, gang. So I'm going to do a quick check-in. This is about the time we normally close. I don't have the normal endpoint, but we probably need about 30 minutes to get through anything else from here. Do you all want to take a quick break and then do a 30-minute, or should we call her here?
I'm good.
I'm good.
Good.
you,
Let's
Bill.
roll.
You're muted, Bert, if you're saying something.
One quick break in 30 minutes sounds doable.
Anyone opposed? All right, quick break, and then we'll jump back in a couple minutes here. Stay tuned. By default, nights start at 21 with Kimmer culture, Christian religion, Salisbury homeland, and a random family characteristic. You can choose different options for all these. There are 5 characteristics: size, dexterity, strength, constitution, and appeal. Size and con determine total hit points and unconscious value. Size and strength determine weapon and brawling damage. Dex keeps a character upright or horsed and is used for starting weapon skills and throwing. Con also affects healing rate. App covers starting social skills, attractiveness, distinctive traits, and seating at feast. Skills have base starting values, some determined by your characteristic scores. Most skills are straightforward, but here are a few unusual ones. Recognize is used for identifying people, folklore for general and mythical knowledge, battle for navigating battles successfully, and hunting for navigating Britain's dense forests. There are 13 paired traits, like chaste, lustful, or valorous, cowardly, where increasing one lowers the other. These define how a character naturally behaves. If a trait is 16 or higher, it's famous, meaning the character defaults to the behavior without rolling. Otherwise, in uncertain moments, a player can roll one trait of the pair. If it succeeds, that's the action taken. If it fails, the opposite trait is tested instead. Over time, traits can shift through gameplay. Passions show what your character cares about, like loyalty, lord, or love of family. They range from unsung 1 to 15, famous 16 to 19, and exalted 20 plus. You can invoke a passion for a bonus, but failure can cause melancholy, creating a -5 penalty. Or, in the case of madness, takes you right out of play. Famous passions are riskier, but exalted ones mostly help. In Pendragon, you roll a d20 and want to roll under your tested trait, passion, characteristic, or skill, like Price is Right rules. For contested rolls, the higher success wins, while the lower success is called a partial success. Sometimes you need to roll over a target number for challenges, like breaking down a door. Rolling exactly your tested value is a critical strike. Rolling over your tested number is a failure. Rolling a 20 on a failed roll is a fumble. Bad news. If your tested number is greater than 20, the extra value becomes a bonus to your roll. This removes failure and fumble risk while boosting your critical chance. Glory measures a knight's fame for their deeds, directly granting permanent increase to their character. To be a knight is to pursue more glory. The more glory, the more recognition, and the greater the benefits to your character. This concludes the basics for a player on how to play Pendragon. The GM can guide the rest. Check out my linked series to find out why you should play Pendragon. All right, we're back from break, and we're gonna have our last big scene. I did want to shout out one thing because we don't really leave a lot of time for proper shout outs in this game. Just wanted to shout out that if you like Pendragon and you're interested in more, we've got a whole bunch of videos on YouTube. Nanteleod's Legacy, and then the 2 games that it's connected to. One that was set in Summerlin, which is where they are right now, and the other game set in Salisbury, which is just beside that. Also, if you want to see something a little more higher produced to see just how awesome Pendragon can be, you can check out the Glass Cannon Network's run of Pendragon right now. They're doing Pendragon 6th edition with a whole bunch of the actual play people that are in LA by night and are attached loosely to a lot of the bigger projects that are out there in the actual play world. So check those out. I don't actually know what most of them are part of. A lot of them are part of Glass Cannon, which is its own. It's starting to be like one of the kings on top. I love Glass Cannon stuff personally since I've been tuned into it. Just seems a little less stage actor performative and a little more like, even though a lot of these people are skilled actors and such, comedians too, I think, there's a sense of they're at a table. It feels more like a table, like they're playing with us rather than, doing some weird version of Zoobly Zoo or something like that. So, I can tell Cyber Bro's like the one that got that. It's like, why you gotta bring that back into my life? Yeah.
Oh man.
Listen, I don't hate stage actors. It's just a matter of I don't know. I think sometimes when you're not on a stage, a lot of mannerisms of stage actor stuff is designed so when you're really far away, they can still see your expressions. It comes off a little weird. It's why it doesn't quite work on film.
Yeah. Just all the hands and the arms, and big arms, smile.
I'm Italian, so I'm used to the hands and the arms as you talk. That's fine.
Yeah.
So okay, let's dive in, guys. This is going to be a scene for the first time. We have the original cast of the 6 Nanteleod's Legacy together for first time in years, and it's going to be a scene with the lot of you, and the only NPCs present are Nanteleod, Justin, and where's the Seneschal? One sec. Hold on. I got this.
He doesn't need to be here.
Yeah, but he is. Nanteleod, Kedrick, and who else did I say was here? There's one more. Justin.
Justin.
Mr. Justin.
He's so dreamy.
Shut up.
He's losing
My
the
brother-in-law.
dreaminess, if you didn't notice.
I brought my Notos back. I can bring this guy back. I rehabilitate people.
Oh, is that what you do? You're the rehabilitation knight?
That's my next name. He gave it to me. In true Roman fashion.
This is we're not going to do a feast, but we will change the music to it because it is a time of celebration. There's kind of a bit of a victory piece here.
Jelly.
What you've discovered is that King Cadwy and Nanteleod negotiated in private, and King Cadwy will be taking over Great Bridge and its garrison once more. So it's considered a liberation formally. You can totally have your feelings about that, but you weren't part of the meeting. Not even Gwydir. Dun, dun, dun.
What?
I know, right?
Outrageous.
Cormac is standing outside the door making sure nobody gets in.
And of course, there's porpoise and peas, Heldrick emblem in meat jelly, and mushroom tarts for the meal.
No swan.
I quite like these pretty little jellies. I don't know what they're supposed to mean, but Tasty.
That's heraldry, Sir Gwydir.
No, it isn't. Sir so-called Baron Collis, who is too busy having a nap to do the damn mission. I've seen heraldry before. It goes on flags and shields. This is cake.
Yes, and it happens to be in the shape of heraldry, but I know that you can't tell the difference. Well, that
I
is all
can't
right, my
even-
friend.
Lucius just says, "I missed this."
Like, I needed this.
Sir Collis will probably look at him and then look away. Sir Lucius, when did you get here?
It's a long story.
We found him in the mist.
I walk the mist these days from time to time.
It's not a good place. Don't do it.
Just cause we're raising
Lucas,
an eyebrow.
Range
whatever.
just looking over at Sir Kedrick on and off the whole time.
Daggers. So, Lunkus, I can only assume that you were the one to safely guide these gentlemen back to their, back to this fine bridge here. I did raise ye well, after all, so well done there, I suppose. Sir Cormac! Oh! He'll run forward and give him a big old hug, if I haven't seen him yet.
Found him in the mist too.
So,
He had a
when
frog
you
in his
get
throat.
close enough to hug Cormac, he's gonna hold his hand out, like stopping you, and he is going to basically get down on his knees and ask for forgiveness.
I preempted that. Cormac, get up, you big oaf! I don't... Listen, you can get down on my knee, on a knee, and you can pledge your loyalty to me or something like that, or name me to be something famous or something good or whatever, but I won't have you kneeling just because we got into a little bit of a punch-up. It was a little bit of a distraction from the mission, but otherwise, I mean... Listen, bygones be bygones and all that. We're all fine. It's not like anybody died and was resurrected with a toad in their mouth or anything, so...
It's funny that you mentioned that.
How strangely specific.
So get this.
It's such a pleasure to see you. What happened? Where did you all go? I obviously rode directly to King Cadwy and didn't get lost or distracted at all. And you all vanished into the mist for some reason.
Like whatever trickery
I
was
don't know
going
what you're
on in
talking
that
about.
mist.
I didn't know what you're talking about. I charged the enemy like you usually would, and I got captured by King Mark.
Well, that's because you're not me, Sir Cormac. You barely even know how to use your hammer. Why would you think that you could take a castle by yourself?
He does have a point, Sir Cormac.
It's like the 5th time you ran away.
If either of you would like to test that assumption, this is all said right now.
Beating on a wounded man? How barbaric.
You must have been
Let
sneaky.
us
First
not
off,
forget.
I do wish to remind you, I was captured by the enemy. I am not too... I myself am not as healthy as I usually am.
Oh, we've all been there before, Cormac. Stop making this a pity party. It's a celebration.
We have not been there before. I don't get captured.
But that's because I trained you, Sir Lucius, and you've done very well.
Hey,
trained
you
him
got my name
hard.
right.
Captured.
He got my.
I've
he got
been
my name right.
captured.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just like smiling. Oh, the champion of Summerlin got my name right.
Yeah, this is the win, man. Like things are looking up.
Stop fangirling for him, Lucius.
Yeah.
Is it only
Yeah.
us at a table?
It's the
Or-
lot of you and Nanteleod, Kedrick, and Justin. That's it. Not another night other than night standing guard outside. This is a private feast.
Is Justin seeming to be recovering okay?
Yeah, I think so. Something for Justin is, and Rain wouldn't know this yet, but Drax does. Sir Lud returned with the news of his men. Justin's still looking in the realm of like melancholic. or at least not like sure of himself. You know, he's not the cocky ass Justin you guys dealt with to begin with.
Yeah,
This is like post drinking and driving Justin Timberlake. Sorry.
Oof.
Is that stung? Sorry, Justin, if you ever watch this nerdy ass show.
I love doing NSYNC. So Lucius, it's been years, Sir Lucius. I mean, whatever happened? Where did you put that stinky nephew of mine?
Lucius is gonna look at King Nanteleod. Just like kind of give him an eye, like, hey, are they cool? Like one of those things, like, are they cool? Like,
What are we saying?
Nanteleod will look at everyone. He says, Rune, Rain, Gwydir, I owe you an apology. I had you set out in search for not only the king, but for news of the Winter Prince. And at the time I did so, I knew that the boy was safe. I did so because there are those that hunt for him, the heir of Logris. I want to check in immediately with Rain, Rune, and Gwydir. I need you all to tell me how well you would handle a lie from one you're so very loyal to. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Well, what I was thinking was, I was going to ask, but I didn't. I was like, well, I rolled loyalty lord, and so that would give me a +10. So in theory, that would be a crit, but I didn't add it because I was going to ask first, but I just figured I'd roll the dice. So that was kind of my feeling. I was like, well, am I rolling these traits with a +10 or not? So I think that was my thought. In which case, it would be a crit for giving, not a fumble, and also a pass on trusting.
protect the king. He's going for a
I'm
knight.
also a knight in service too, so I mean, I'm not sure. My loyalty lord is 16 though as well, so.
Okay, so I just need some interpretations. I probably should have dictated this better than I did. I will accept Gwydir. I will accept that under the guise that you are basically coping really hard right now.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah,
right.
It's also, I think it's not the first time this has happened, you know, and he's, I think he's already kind of acknowledged, because he knows that he's honest, right? He's like, well, of course the king has to not tell me some stuff because I'll just spout it out like I'm not good.
This time he didn't not tell you stuff. He lied.
He lied. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good point. Yeah. Yeah, I think the coping hard is probably the point. I think he sort of says, that doesn't feel right. Wait, it's the king. Of course he had a good reason.
Yeah. So completely, that works.
I'm not sure what I could.
Was the only man he trusted. Lucius was the only guy he trusted. You know.
Rain. Well, you were assigned to the job. Rain. How do you feel about this at this point?
Well, see, this is the problem: is his loyalty lord is actually a 16. So, I mean, he's very loyal to his lord.
Yeah.
But Rain himself is actually more honest and deceitful himself. And
are you famously honest?
No, not quite.
Okay. I think this would be a forgiving test. He wronged you directly.
Okay.
Or you can roll vengeful first, unless you're famous in either. You get to choose which one to roll first. But if you succeed, At the one, that's it. That's it.
All right, we're gonna go with forgiving because that's usually Rain's default, unless it's
Okay.
So yeah.
What about Rune?
Um,
I'll get back to you in a sec, Rain. I got an idea for you.
Yeah, it's fine.
Sure. I think Rune, with the baggage that he is carrying, he doesn't take this well.
Too harsh? Or doesn't take it well? Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. Because he's like being constantly called out to war, and then being sent to these super high dangerous situations, and now he has a family back home and all of this stuff that's going back home. He is like, I think if the camera would zoom at him, he's like trying really hard to like hide that the revelation is getting to him behind a cup of wine. It's like, I'm out here on the verge of death constantly for him, and he can't even tell me the truth, you know?
Indeed. One sec. His eyes are going over each of you as he does so. Why don't you make me an intrigue test or courtesy test encounter? You got to beat a 2. Otherwise, you hide it white. Okay, you hide it well. Yep. Your little wine trick works perfect. So if you're going to break the detail, it's going to be because you choose to.
Yeah. I mean, and he won't say it. He won't mention this to any of them, really. He'll keep it close to his chest. Because, I mean, we are the Swords of Nanteleod. And I don't want my loyalty to be questioned. Even though that did sting.
My
There
king,
was
you go.
There was a praetor from the mainland, Swazon. He made a deal with King Uther. But the details of that deal were not well negotiated. They helped him reclaim Swazon from the Franks. And when he wished to push on, Uther's first son, Matic, denied such a request, and they returned to the island. It is believed that this praetor is responsible for the murder of Prince Matic, and has claimed to be the one responsible. Sorry, this is Bob forgetting the name of the feast. For the
Albans,
Yeah.
St. Albans.
yeah,
And Albin.
for the poisoning in the feast of St. Albans. The one that sought the death of most of the lords of Logres. He is now one of the most prolific mercenary lords here on this island. And he is
My
actively searching to eliminate any remains of Uther's line.
My king, the Praetor Siagrius, was the one who laid siege to St. George. I was present and coordinated the defense and escape.
You were there?
Yes, I was there.
That's where Justin's men were. They kicked the shit out of them and stuck them on crosses, Sir Lucius.
Ooh. I wasn't there for that, my king.
Why weren't you there? You're supposed to be defending the place.
Are we? Has Lucius determined that this is a situation where, hey, Finnegan is the Winter Prince? Like, let me. Can I say this? Like, I'm gonna look at Lucius. Will look at Nanteleod again. Like, how open are we being?
He
Maybe an
nods.
Intrigue roll? He not. Oh, he nods. Oh. Because keeping the Winter Prince safe was more important. It's unfortunate, but that was the decision that had to be made, and I had to use various things within my means to do so.
What kind of means could you? All right, so you had to leave for some reason with the prince, and everybody else was left behind. Is this what? All right, fine. Listen, High King. I know what I'm like. Everybody knows what I'm like. Besides, we were riding off into the forest with who knows what, with the Agrius fellow, and the Cornish, and giants, and whoever else lives in the forest, and the mists and such. It makes sense. If we had known that the prince was fine and we got captured, then they know that we know, which means that it changed. I understand. It was an intelligence decision to keep certain information hidden. It's fine. Listen, we're all okay. We came back with an extra Sir Cormac, who we all rather like, even if his god doesn't. It's all worked out fine. If you need to keep us in the dark every now and again, High King, I think that... I mean, there is no questioning your wisdom, and there is no questioning our loyalty to you, High King. So, you look at the results, it was a good decision. Everything is good. We even got Lucius back. And he's Roman!
He nods. I don't regret the decision. I only wish there was an easier way.
Just tell me what to do, High King. I don't really mind. It's all fine. So far, you've just made me go and kill a bunch of people, which is great, and capture. And honestly, I've probably caused you more trouble than good. What with all these Roman Catholic? What is it with Romans? Archbishop Dubricus. He hates me. I haven't done anything.
Sir Kidrick says, "That's enough, Sir Gwydir."
Fair enough. I gave him his ring back. I don't know what else he wants.
Nanteleod then says,
But he's safe.
"The boy you all know as Finnegan is the one they call the Winter Prince. It is the heir to Uther's line."
I'm sorry, come again? I thought you told me he was the heir to your line.
It's complicated.
Wait, so who's my girlfriend then?
Looks confused at Gwydir.
She was there when we found the boy in the forest by the stream. She was there. That's where we met her.
Sir Kidrick says, "Another captive of the hostile knight, if memory serves."
Good memory, Sir Kendrick.
Yes, he does. With that, Nanteleod will say, "Oh, by the way, Collis, putting 2 and 2 together for you, that would mean that you would be a baron under the boy eventually, if that were true. Because you're in Logris. So just putting that together for you."
He is your king, and you will honor him.
We'll see what'll happen.
Maybe I shouldn't have hit him so many times when he was a child. It was for training. I wasn't just beating him for no reason, but...
In the next couple of weeks, the fog will clear, not entirely, but enough to navigate better. King Cadwy will speak to each of you, and in doing so, he promises that your travel through his lands will be less complicated than prior.
King Candy. Can I ask him a question while I'm talking with him?
You can speak up, yeah.
Listen, King Cadwy, thank you, first of all.
Oh, he's not
That's
here.
Very kind.
Oh, this
Yeah,
is
he's
the
not
telling,
here.
telling us.
This is before.
Telling us about, right? This is the telling us that, that
Yeah, this is
At
Nanteleod
some-
telling you that Cadwy will do so.
Oh, I see. Well, at some point when I get to speak to Cadwy again, if I do, let me know. I'll ask him a question.
Yeah. He says, in doing so, or our plan going forward from here for the remainder of the warm months. And by the way, you all know it's like late summer already, so like muster time is kind of over, right? He says, we'll be sending small armies of men out into Summerland and liberating those manors that are easy to liberate. Those that are well garrisoned and well fortified, we will be avoiding for this year. In doing so, we can only hope to serve as offering of bastions for those who wish to find refuge, to collect together in the land once more, and to unite a strength that we hope we can use in our favor when we finally cross blades with Cornwall.
Lucius would ask the king, my king, I would ask leave to go ahead of the vanguard into Cornwall. I have made an oath to save someone precious to me that Prince Mark has captured.
I need you to test your amour.
Luck be a lady tonight.
Okay.
Oh,
You're
no.
not impassioned by it, that's all that means. So it's not obvious. I think everyone needs to make, if you want to see that this is for a lady, like Cormac, actually, you were there when he met the lady. So
He was smitten from the get.
yeah, Cormac, you can make an intrigue roll +5. You're trying to beat a 13 to know that that's what it's about. For everyone else, you're just trying to beat a 13, and you can't impassion because there's no reason for you to want it. You could still suspect that, I think, Cormac, because you were there. Gallus, you got other stuff.
Ask.
Yeah, okay.
Since when did you meet anybody important?
I meet important people all the time.
Name 3.
Let's see. King Nanteleod, Sir
Hey,
Cormac,
that doesn't count. No, they don't count.
and Sir Rune. They're important people.
They're
And I met you too.
Rain
I-
actually chuckles at that.
and Sir Rain, you know, and Baron Collis. He's a Baron.
Well, you're not going out to rescue Sir Corlys because he's right here.
Do you remember the do you remember your visions, Lucius, the first time?
Of King Nanteleod passing or going back in time.
Whatever you want to
I gotta
put.
lie.
I mean, you met someone
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, Vortigern. I met Vortigern, but Lucius wouldn't say that.
Okay, that's scary.
He's just getting back at with deer. Like, yeah, you guys are all important. I've met you all.
Love you, buddy.
Yeah.
All right, gang. So I think we're gonna bring that to a close there. We're gonna do some sort of high-level rolls next time. Lucius, Nanteleod will turn to you because I forgot to follow this up, and he says, "You're dismissed. See to your duties and return to me when you're done."
Understood.
Can
And
I say one more
Lucius,
thing
Sure.
when you're done, Lucius?
Lucius just stands up. Thank you, my lord. And my king. And he walks out so no one sees him crying.
My lord, if I need to go talk to Sir Lucius right quick before he leaves.
Okay. Gwydir.
Yeah, High King. Speaking of weird things in the forest, I just remembered I had a very strange dream when I was in the forest. It was... Sir Kedrick, with all due respect, you did tell me not to go on about this, but it seems important. I had a strange dream. Well, it wasn't really a dream. It seemed very real. Anyway, the Archbishop, it seemed like he maybe had killed you, High King, and he had forced some guy to marry my daughter, which was strange, but I just wanted to... I don't know if there's magic in these things entirely, and if it's true or whatever, but it does seem, perhaps, like I do think that. It seemed... It seemed like a premonition, High King, not just a strain. I just wanted to... It would be remiss, High King, if I didn't warn you, perhaps, or...
He looks a bit torn at that.
I'm not saying we should execute him or anything. I just...
Okay. He says, many have returned with truth in the mist.
Oh man.
I will keep an
That
eye
does
on
not
such
sit well.
things.
Did not sit well with Rowan.
That's not good for Rain hearing that. That's really not good for Rain hearing that.
Cormac stepped out, so he didn't hear it.
Yeah, Sir Rain is almost looking horrified when he hears Nanteleod say that because of the vision he had in there.
Yeah. I will remind you that Nanteleod is suspicious 16. So
Yeah, I mean, Rain's suspicious 13 himself. He's not. Yeah. No.
Anyway,
and with
good
that,
luck with that.
we'll turn quickly. Bert, I need to keep this short, so I'm going to make this punchy as Cormac catches up with Lucius.
Sir Lucius.
Yes, Sir Cormac. Yes, it's raining inside. How can I be of assistance?
You've been keeping an eye on Finnegan, haven't you?
An eye, training, protecting. Yes, all of that.
I know he's not of my blood. I know he is literally Uther Pendragon's son, and is likely to inherit much more than anything a humble knight as myself can ever give him. And he takes the sword that was given to him by Nanteleod himself, and the ring given to him by Collis, and places both those in Lucian's hands and clasps them together. I want him to know that until my dying breath, I'll do anything it takes to see him safe and to see him succeed. I'm proud of him, and when he is knighted, I hope it's from Nanteleod, but whoever does it, I hope they present to him at least the sword of his father. Oh, at least this sword. I may not be his father, but I can at least hand this down to him.
I will do this, Sir Cormac. Point of order. He's already been knighted. I knighted him.
And with that, we're gonna wrap because that's the perfect end.
Just to make what?
His group laugh reminds me of Austin Powers when they're all just doing the evil laughing together around the table. All right. That was great, guys. Hope you had a great time. If you're interested in this, we do Pendragon Fridays, Sundays in Salisbury, and Tuesdays in Summerland. Come check us out. And I'm going to see, I mean, it's just us, but I'm going to do a quick, no, I'm not. We only got 4 people. We will not raid out tonight. No reason to. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Take care, everyone.
Later.